welcome to another episode of 5 Minutes with Freed. I'm your host, Michael Freed. I'm a litigation partner in the matrimonial and family law firm of Berkman, Botker, Newman, and Shine, with offices in New York City, Westchester, and Long Island. And today, my special guest is Dave Teitelbaum of Boost Your Board. So, Dave, welcome to 5 Minutes with Freed.
Thanks, Mike. Good to hear.
So, Dave, tell us, what is Boost Your Board and what's your role in the company?
My role is founder of the company. It's a brainchild I had. I've been president of my condo in Long Beach, the Ocean Club, for 20 years, and that is exactly as insane as it sounds. Most people don't want to deal with the hassle of it. Most people get kicked out or fed up. And I've been churning along and doing really good work for our building for 20 years. And I've come across an enormous set of experiences, including managing the building through Superstorm Sandy. We were in the ocean that night. We had the dubious honor of having the first case of COVID in Long Beach in our building. And so we had to deal with the CDC and the health department and the city managers. So it came to me that there's a lot of people who are on boards and they don't have any training whatsoever. All it takes to be on a condo or co-op board is to likely own your property and be slightly popular enough to get elected. And suddenly you're making property management decisions. There's no training class. There's no, and I'll tell you, when I took over as president 20 years ago here, I needed to step in to fill a hole there. Uh, I had that forgot my homework pit of the stomach feeling every time I ran a meeting because what did I know about this stuff? Well, 20 years later, I honestly had know a lot through ins and outs of dealing with so many things. And one thing I've learned is that boards are inefficient. They're an unusual thing. The thing I like to say is a board is a camel. It's a horse built by committee. It's lumpy. It is stubborn. It spits a lot, and it's not at all what you originally thought you were dealing with, and it's not as easy as you thought. So there's a lot of complexities there, and I think I can come in as an advisor and be able to help through individual problems, getting you through the hump of something, working on projects to make sure that everybody is on the same page, helping people get along because there are boards that have infighting. There's so many different ways that someone with experience can help a board, even if it's mentorship, even if it's training. That's the basis of it.
Well, Dave, you know that I'm a matrimonial and family law attorney. When would my clients most often require your services?
Kind of an interesting perspective. Well, anybody who lives in a property obviously can benefit, but I think that it's an interesting way to look at it is a lot of times when someone's going through divorce, I would say most times, someone's moving out and they're moving into a new location. You suddenly new in a property, or you're suddenly remaining in your property and you have a lot more responsibilities in your property. And if it's an HOA, if it's a condo or co-op, it may be your biggest asset. And like people who tend to run for boards, you want to have a say in how your property is managed. You don't necessarily want it to be dictated to you. Some people are hands off and they don't want to get involved in that. And if they don't have the temperament, I understand that. But for anybody who's involved in the management of their property as a board, and especially if you're somebody new and you want to be able to bring something to the table for the board, either a one-on-one or more likely just an advisory to other people who don't necessarily know each other, I can step in and get people, like I said, through the hump, over the hump, or just be an on-call advisor.
So, Dave, what would be the best way for a prospective client or other professional like myself to contact you?
I would say the best way is we have the website, www.boostyourboard.com, which, is available there. And we have the contact us. It's a form where you can put a description in, or my email is on there, dave@boostyourboard.com.
So now, Dave Teitelbaum, we've now come to the most important part of our show,
Trepidation.
and that happens to be the question of the week. So, Dave Teitelbaum, this is your question of the week. You have organized a trip to the beach with your friends, and you're in charge of bringing snacks to the beach. Which three snacks would you bring and why?
That's an unbelievably apt question because this has happened because I live in Long Beach. A trip to the beach is a moderately common thing around here with groups of friends. And I have, I don't want to call it a paranoia, but an aversion to bringing the same thing somebody else brought. Why have two bags of potato chips or whatever? So I have a bit of a reputation actually of finding those unusual things, going up and down the aisles. I'm not saying that this exists, but if there was a lamb and rice potato chip, I'd buy that because someone wants to try the unusual ones. And so I usually will try and bring a couple of different bags of whatever is the latest sample this flavor of a thing. And I know that no one else is bringing the dill pickle potato chips or something like that. But I don't know, probably about batting 500 on, wow, this is actually amazing. And why would anybody make this? Please make it stop. So that's certainly in my bag of tricks for trips to the beach.
I have to say, that is an amazing answer. And Dave Teitelbaum, you have said
Try.
it all. You are helping condo and co-op boards with their issues one day at a time. And I want to thank you for being a wonderful guest on
Hey,
Five
Mike,
Minutes
thanks
with
for having me
Free.
on. This was great.